Hello everyone, it's Eric Zorn from ICM 505. Today we will be doing a simple tutorial using jQuery and JavaScript, as well as the PHP includes to create an active list item. Now that sounds super complicated, but really all that is as you can see here on all of your sites and my site, when you clicked on a certain page, it highlights with a dark highlight around it to say that it's active, so this way you know what page you're scrolling through. As a developer, you might not need it as much because you're constantly staring at the code and editing it, but definitely if you're someone who is just a user of the website, you want to know what page you're on. So as you can see here on mine, when I click on each page, it will specifically highlight with the correct page. So if I say that I'm on the badges page, it highlights dark black. Contact does the same thing, and so on. So, I apologize, that music automatically plays. So, in order to do this, you simply open up your text editor. I'm using Sublime. You can use whatever you would like, whether it's Notepad++ or Text Wrangler or anything else. So what I'm doing is you first navigate, you want to open up each of your pages that you contain on your site. Now that's a lot of pages. Some may have more than others due to how many badges they've completed at this point. But definitely open up every page you have that is currently listed or being edited on your site before you FTP it. Then you're going to also want to go within your includes folder in your ICM 505 parent folder. And you're going to want to open up nav.php. And then I'm not sure if I'm the only one who's done this or if we had to do this at the beginning. It was a while ago. I made a javascript.php file, and all that really does is it allowed me to make a simple include at the bottom of each of my pages. Instead of having to copy and paste the JavaScript on each page, I just included the bootstrap and the jQuery. However, now, as you can see here that I just highlighted, all of this stuff is new JavaScript and jQuery that looks a little intimidating that we are going to add, but that is not really anything difficult. It's just copying and pasting. So what you're going to want to do is on each of your pages, you're going to want to scroll down to the opening body tag of your HTML. And then you're going to want to give it an ID. And all an ID is just telling the code you want it to be like a target for something, essentially. So you're going to want to give it an ID of the page name. So I gave it home because this is index. So if it was contact, for instance, it would be body ID equals contact, and so on. And you're going to want to do this for every single page in your site. Then you're going to want to come over to your JavaScript PHP file, and you're going to want to create opening and closing script tags, as you can see here. And within those, we're going to be using jQuery, and you can tell it's jQuery with the $sign. So all this is saying, this one single line of code, I'll highlight it so it makes more sense, is find the ID of home. So it's going to find the ID of home. Then it's going to find the word that contains home. So all that's doing is it's saying find the ID of home in your HTML, and then find within your nav bar where it says home, right here. And then it's going to add the class of active, and all that is going to add that dark highlight to say you specifically selected that page. Now you're going to want to do this for every single one of your pages with the specific ID and the specific name within your navigation that you gave it. So as you can see here, my bio page, I give it an ID of bio, and then it says about on the nav bar. And now down here is where it just gets a little trickier, or you have to understand it a little bit better. Being that all of these are within my lessons drop down, as you can see, let me open it again. See how this is a drop down with all of my projects? Being that when you load a page, for instance, the drop down doesn't automatically appear. So as you can see here, it selects lessons as the clicked. So this way you know you're within the lessons drop down. So you're going to want to do everything the same way, but just for each of these, make sure it contains lessons as the parent class. And yeah, that should be pretty simple. Make sure it works within your MAMP or XAMPP, whatever you're using, your local host, local server. And if that all seems to work, what I do, I know this is not common practice for everyone, but I can assure that I have a backup, and I can assure that I upload everything correctly all at one go every time. So what I did is I created a simple code saver folder on my desktop. You can name it whatever you want, and you should download all of the files that are currently on the server within FileZilla or CyberDuck, whatever you're using. Download them all to this folder so you have a copy. And then what I do is I highlight all of them on the server through FileZilla or CyberDuck, and I click delete, and then I re-upload the ones within my MAMP application folder. If that's too complicated, I completely understand. You don't have to do that. I've just been practicing that way, so I know everything is up to date, and I have backups as well. And now just a quick example of where I found this instruction and tutorial was through this YouTube video through a guy named Website Boy. He seems to be a developer. I just did a quick PHP active list search, and he came up with this using jQuery. You can use PHP, but this seemed to be the more simpler out of the two. So I will have instructions attached to the video. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I know this seems like a lot, but it's really simple. Once you start doing it once, it works for each of the pages. So you have my contact info and Professor Gruen's, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.